And welcome to DCCodesandGames.com. This is a definitive handbook in excelling in Manor Lords. This is part 2. So in the previous part we set up our basic camp. We have a plot here with food or vegetables growing, one egg hut there. We have a very rich deposit here of berries and the iron deposit here, and we are looking to expand our military side of things in this region. This is what it's best for, I think, this region. We've decided that the fertility in this region is not too great, so let's continue and let's build a more of an empire. So last time we did this, I did a mistake, and this is due to the berry deposit, and I realized that we're actually chopping down trees next to it, which is not good because that could actually get rid of this rich deposit, which we do not want that to happen. So one thing I'm going to do is, first of all, get my logging camp to say that I want you to work around this area and not around my berries. And also I just need to make sure that they're not actually going next to my wildlife there too, and the berries. It's important. So that's all good. Then what we should do is go to gathering and get a forester's hut, because we want to really replant some of these trees here. So let's do that, and I'll build it maybe there. I do also want to make sure that we have that extra space for our living spaces on these huts, and we could also get another vegetable garden here. So now we have a bandit camp that was spotted, and I am just going out to see if I can spot where it is. Okay, it's quite far away. It's around here. 12 families, but we have 18 people, which is not really enough to go after that bandit camp yet, so we need to increase that population. So I keep forwarding it, and as you can notice, our level at the moment is that we have food, stool supply is fine, our fuel is fine, we still need some clothing, and we have an unassigned person. So I am wondering if actually one could go to the tannery and producing some clothing. So you can see now we have rain, which is not great at all, but hey, but we got all our supplies that we did at the first part into all our storage areas, so that's good. And also our demands are quite met now, so which is quite good. And let's look at the marketplace. So we have 83%, 33, which is alright. It's not great, but that will go up. And I am waiting to get our approval up a bit more so that we can get more families into these places, and then we can actually get them to work in other locations. And the saw pit, what I want to do as well is I also want to reserve at least some of these timber so that we have still got some for things we want to build. And also a good thing for later on the saw pit that you can do is you can actually assign livestock to here. Now we've got 2, so I'm actually going to upgrade a small stable on both of these so that we can just get another 2 going soon. It's not a bad thing to have more than you need for these ox. Okay, so we have our ox in gear, we'll just order another one. Just to speed everything up. Now, if we go back to our market supply and demand, we've actually got 100% now for clothing. We've got 100% for fuel, and we got 100% for food, which is fantastic. But our food is running low a bit, and that's because we are in winter. So we just have to watch that we can get through this winter, because in the winter what happens is that your food and fuel is cut by half, which makes it really hard for you to plan things, and also certain types of food won't grow in the winter, so you have that problem. And for now I'm actually going to put a logging camp person there, so we get more logs again, because I realized that actually we don't have anybody in there. So now we've reached December and it's very cold for everybody, and we will want to look at actually getting our next development point. And we could do this now actually by upgrading certain buildings. And I'm going to upgrade one that doesn't actually have anything on it, but I can see that doesn't have enough food on this one. So for now actually I'm just going to upgrade this, and then we'll just get up for other development point. And we could go for trade logistics, but I think we're going to go for deep mining for now, because what we want to do is we want to start to use this iron deposit. And you can notice also we've gone to 75% approval, which is good. That will help us in actually getting more people in faster. So for the approval in the first part, I didn't go into detail, but when it's below 25, you're losing one every month. If it's over 50, you're gaining one every month. And if you're over 75, you gain 2 families a month. And what I'm going to do immediately, I'm going to start getting this mining pit going. And it doesn't cost that much. So I'm also going to do the clay pit there. And we have another family just moved in, which is great. So we could use them for certain things. I'm going to put them in the granary, because then that might actually get them to get a store going, another food store, which will help us upgrade one of these. And what I'm planning to do is upgrade one of these so that we can start to make buildings like Blacksmiths or Fletchers or things like that. Our first one being a Fletcher, because the Fletchers will then create the bows. And every month you've noticed that the approval actually will decrease a bit, and then it will increase. I don't know why that's the case, but anyway, that's what happens. We are in January now. And now we can upgrade this, so that's perfect. And we'll upgrade that. And we're going to upgrade this too to a deep mining. And I want that as a high priority. And what I want is a Fletcher's shop. Not only will this Fletcher's shop create bows, but then we can actually trade it at the trade post here. And that will bring us a bit of cash too. And you'll notice also when you build a Fletcher's place, we've had a problem because we've now got no assigned workers. So when you build these level 2 and you go and look at what you want for the level 2, you can build like blacksmiths, you can build brewer extensions, you can build joiners workshops and things, but they actually require full-time professional work. So that means that any settlers or things that live there work permanently in that place. They can't go to work anywhere else. Whereas these plots, you can put vegetables or whatever you want there for food, because they can actually work in other places as well. That's one thing that actually sometimes, if you can upgrade a place where you want to put a Fletcher's shop initially, that's probably the one that you want to upgrade first rather than going to the vegetables. Now, I didn't do that because I couldn't upgrade these initially, and I really wanted that development point so that we could get our iron deposit going. And now some of these settlements are in level 2. It means that they will require more things. So they will require a tavern, a supply, and they'll require more clothing, and they'll require a bit better church. So that means that we'll actually have to upgrade this church, and we will have to put a tavern in. And really, we could create barley with fields for the ale and do the whole malt and stuff, but I'm not going to do that. I don't think I'm going to import it and look into getting actually a bit more money before I go there. So actually, I'm looking into creating a bit more money on the trading post, and then we'll get the tavern, and then we'll bring in beer. Now, in terms of actually getting the beer itself, it is quite expensive. So what we could do is, if you go to crops, we could do barley, and that's only 2, and then you could have the working locations to then create the ale. So we'd actually create the ale with the barley, but we'll import barley. So instead of importing ale, which costs 8 for each one, we'll import the barley, which is less expensive, and then we can actually get the ale that way. And if you create a lot of import of barley, then that would be fantastic, because then we could actually sell off our own beer too. So you're doubling the profits. And we're on 77% approval, so that's good, so that we should have more people coming in once they've done the jobs here. And we'll have to unassign somebody to somewhere, because we actually technically don't have enough people to do the extra work. So the stone camp, we don't need that person there for now, so we'll get them off there. So now I have my Fletcher's shop. We are in the process of making some bows. So we will need somebody at the saw pit soon, because the bows will need that, and we won't have the necessary stock. These are still being constructed. Also, another thing is, if you have a burger's plot here, and it's a level 2, but you also have an additional family, means that they will all both work that family at that place. So you get double the production. I'm just fast forwarding to see if I can get another family in here. Okay, more track then movements. Makes me wonder, actually, we could actually go for these bandits, and so that's them there. They'll get closer to us, so then when they get closer, we'll go and destroy them, and then we'll get some loot out of them. Hey, we got a new family just moved in, so that's what I wanted, because I desperately need somebody at the saw pit. Because if you could see that we don't have any planks remaining, meaning that we don't have any bows being made. Straight away, we've probably got quite a few bows now. Okay, only 2. we'll leave those for now. We won't do anything for that. But you can see we have large shields here, and we have spears. We don't want to sell those because we want to have some army as well that we can acquire straight away off the bat, 20 of them, and that will help us defeat these bandits when they get closer. And what we're going to do in this sword pit is we're going to assign a permanent ox to it. That will speed the making of the swords as well, and we have a reserve of 10 timber so that we don't have a shortage of timber as well. That's a bad thing to have. And what we're going to do now is we're going to make a cobbler's workshop so that we start getting other clothing in too. And you see level 2 requires extra clothes. And we're going to build a tavern too. Everybody wants ale. Now let's just get that up and running. Always notice that having an extra person unassigned is useful, because then they do their jobs and stuff of creating or building your settlement. At the moment it's 0, so I'm wondering, actually, is anything going to actually get built? Let's see. No, you see, I think I need somebody assigned for it to them to do their job. I'm just wondering who I don't have to have. I think we are having issues with not having enough people around, and we are in 76% approval, so it's a good idea to actually get some more houses at this stage, and that will increase our population, meaning more army, meaning more workforce, etc. It's a very good idea now to do that. And there's a forest here, so I don't want to get rid of that. I might do it here, one. And then we'll have another one come up here eventually. We'll do another, maybe 3 here. And you'll notice that this line here shows up where people's houses are facing. So you want them here because then they have easier access to their workplace here. And let's see what we could do. With the plus sign, that would be good. We have big plots or vegetables and stuff. I will make these ones as vegetables because we will need more food for sure. We need more clothing, really, but it's going up because I think we have 2 types now, which is good. We want somebody unassigned so that they can start working on more areas. Trading person, we are not trading that much at the moment. He's not really trading anything, so he can be unassigned for these houses. So we have some family just moved in. I'm wondering what best place to put them. So the best place to put them maybe would be, could put them in the woodcutter's place. That could help. Could start them with our iron mining, but then I don't think we have enough workforce to do that. I'm going to assign somebody else, somebody more to the log camp so that we can get that into place quite fast. And I want this as vegetable as well, so we just make that purely vegetable so that when the winter comes we won't be starving. And the barons are moving very fast, you can see. And we have a bandit camp right there on the move. Let's get him a bit closer before we deal with him. Now we are getting some bows in, which is great. Now we can get some bowmen, but we don't have enough men yet. Well, we can. There's 13 bowmen, which is fine, and we could use them to get our bandits, which is great. But also we could probably trade some of those. So if we said, how many can we have? 36. If we said that we want at least 36 for now, but I want to set one up. We can't at the moment because we need 60. But on my next development point, what I'm planning to do is get the trade logistics, and that will bring down the cost of getting that actually. We have good food supply, we have an alright fuel supply, could be better, so I am wondering if I should put another person in our fuel for now, or do we start them on the iron? Also, the thing is about these is that you need to be wary of not overselling stuff. So you don't want to oversell stuff, because if you oversell stuff, then the market, the global market, will go down because they'll have an oversupply of it. It's a really quite a clever game, thought out really. It's very realistic. That happens to markets all the time really. And what we're going to start doing soon is making a manor, because that will give us a new unit we can play with as well. I want an extra person at the saw pit, and we will start trading some, because it's very, very cheap at the moment to establish a route here, and then export. We'll start exporting them when they come to 30, I'll say we want at least 30. And our marketplace is alright, we've got 100%, 100%, we've got 86% food. Bandit camp's still quite far away. I'm going to make another plot because we have 2 unassigned, so they can make these burgage plots quite fast. That should be fine. We will get somebody in the clay place because we want to upgrade our church too. And we will build a clay furnace and we will place it around there. And by the way, you can't see it because my face is in the way, but we do have 187 days left on here till the bandits arrive, and they are just camping around here, little bastards, but we'll get them, don't worry. At the moment for our army we have 18 archers and 18 spearmen, so I'm not really worried. And we're going to have a blacksmith soon, so that's going to be great. I will now also upgrade one of these to level 2 so that I can actually get the other development point. Now we have a lot of families come in, so we can really use this. So we have 66 food, that's all good, because we don't have that third food, and we need that third food. So that's a bit of a bugger. What we're going to do is we're going to get another wood cutter, because we do need wood cutters. And then we will maybe assign one to the granary. Would be useful to upgrade these as well, which I'm going to do. There's no point in putting a person in the hunter camp because there's not enough wild animals anyway. I'm just wondering if, because it's coming to winter again, if it would be ideal to actually get trading on something and then we can bring in some extra food that we want. Let's see. Iron slabs we got quite a lot of. We could export it, but we just say we want 20 of them and we get 4 back, which is quite good. And we have a limited amount of iron. We have an extra family that just moved in, so that's all good. Could make more of these, but we could have another ox. I'll order another ox. That would be good. Maybe another person in the logging camp. I'm just going to check where the area they're going from. We want somebody at the forester's hut, and I will replant. Here. Extra person there. Or family. I'm going to put an extra person in woodcutter's place. Not too happy about the food, but this one we're going to upgrade to level 2, and that's where we're going to put a brewery 2. So I'll upgrade that to level 2. Keep these at level 1. We might make these as chicken ones so that we get more eggs, because we've only got one chicken place at the moment, and that should sort out our food issue. We have our next development point. So what are we going to do? We will do trade logistics. That's helped the situation to upgrade that storage place. So we can get a blacksmith here. And then what I'm going to do is, I know it's cold, but I will actually send my people out because they're not moving this camp. And I will rally them to here. But then again, I want some planks remaining, so actually saws would be good for now. And then, because we want to upgrade this church soon. Send resources to nearest town. Yep, that's the best one to do for now. Gives us more treasury, which is great. And then we'll head back. Just notice that every time you upgrade your settlement, then there's going to be an increase in demand. Although you get development points faster, just keep that in mind, that demand for things will go up. People will want or be expecting more from you. So at the moment we have 85 for fuel, we have food variety 79%, clothing 95%, which is fine. So we got rid of that bandit camp, we have more money, and our regional wealth is actually doing really well now. We got 367, which is great. And what we might do then is, now we have that trading logistics in place, we can actually then go, okay, we have some iron slabs we could sell, let's start doing that, establish a route for that, and we export and we can get some good money for that. We will also order a new horse for our trading place, because that makes things a bit faster with trading, instead of somebody just going by foot, which at the moment the poor sods are on their feet in the winter going to get trading posts done. We need that horse. And I believe to be that animals in the trading post have a stable for themselves there, so that's all good. We have a blacksmith, we have a fuel, but we don't have an ale yet. I'm going to put this as a chicken blade. We have 100% fuel. And we have 100% clothing. Food is alright, but not great. I will speed this up because we still have people who need, one person family needs to move into here. People are back, and I'm going to disband them. And we have 60 days left till the raiders get here. We'll be prepared. I just want one more family to move into there. We do have a family that moved into there, so that's great. So we can put one of them in this clay furnace, which will be great. Because then that means that we can get enough to upgrade to Stone Church. Fuel reserves, I'll put 10, let's say. It's always good to do fuel reserves because then you don't want to have a sudden like, oh my goodness, don't have enough fuel. What's happened? What's happened? Like, or because we've used it all on the clay, sir. Sorry. Oh shit. Why didn't you tell me? We'll put more housing down here, so we'll just do this and that. Could have 2 going. Here like that. That will do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good size of backyard. Right. Enemies have been spotted. We will call the army forward. I can't really see them. Call them in the middle. So at the moment I can't see them. There they are. That's not good for them because their effectiveness is 90%. So that shows you basically how good your troops are going to do in battle. If they're uphill, then they're downhill, then your troops will do better. And if you're firing at them, then obviously they're not going to do very well. But I'm going to send these round to the flanks so that, or the rear, so that they can actually fire right where they want. Now we're going to fire on them from the rear. They don't have a chance. Alright, that was quite close, but we'll be prepared for the next lot with better troops. So we disbanded. Everybody goes back to work to their normal lives. And then I'm going to upgrade the church. And I'm going to look at what things we can do on our trading post. But if you notice after the battle as well that we've actually claimed some influence. So we've claimed 720. And to actually claim these locations, we do need quite a bit of claim for it. If you're claiming a territory that's been owned by enemy, it's 2,000. These are 1,000, so it's a bit better. The claim we're King's Favourite, I think, hasn't been unlocked yet. So let's get back to growing our city again. We've defeated the enemy. We have a blacksmith going. I believe good things we could trade with are some bows. And then we might go into sidearms that we can trade. And that can give us quite a hefty amount as well. So we'll just continue doing all this and we'll get a trade going and we will finish building our settlement and get a good amount of armor and things with our deposit, which we have at the moment, and a very, very good deposit. So that's all good, and that's it. So stay tuned.